Have you ever wondered what it was really like to live through World War II? We see the epic battles and grand strategies in movies, but what about the ordinary people caught in the crossfire? Their stories, often whispered and almost forgotten, hold some of the most profound lessons about humanity. Today, we're going to step back in time and listen to some of these voices, to understand the true cost of war through the eyes of those who survived it. Imagine being a child, like Eva, living in a quiet Polish village. One day, the world outside her window turned into a nightmare. Soldiers marched through her streets, and the familiar sounds of laughter were replaced by the rumble of tanks and the chilling silence of fear. Eva's family was torn apart. She hid in a neighbor's cellar for months, clutching a single photograph of her parents, her only connection to the life she once knew. She survived on scraps of bread and hope, listening to the world burn above her. For Eva, the war wasn't about maps and flags. It was about the cold, the hunger, and the gnawing loneliness of a lost childhood. Now, let's journey to the Pacific, to the story of Kenji, a young Japanese man from Hiroshima. He was on his way to work on a bright August morning in 1945. In a single, blinding flash, his world vanished. He described it not as a sound, but as a silent, searing light that erased everything. When he came to, the city he loved was a smoldering ruin. He walked through streets filled with shadows burned onto walls and people wandering in a daze, their lives and futures incinerated in an instant. Kenji spent the rest of his life tending to a small garden, a simple act of creation in a world that had shown him the ultimate destruction. He said that planting a seed was his way of telling the world that life, no matter how fragile, always finds a way to grow again. And what about the soldiers themselves? Let's think about David, a young American medic who landed on the beaches of Normandy. He wasn't there to fight, but to heal. He carried no weapon, only bandages, and a desperate will to save lives. He described the chaos of D-Day not as heroic, but as a symphony of human suffering. He saw incredible bravery, yes, but he also saw immense loss. He worked tirelessly, patching up friend and foe alike, because in that moment of crisis, he saw not uniforms, but fellow human beings in pain. He carried the faces of the men he couldn't save with him for the rest of his life. A heavy reminder that in war, there are no real winners, only varying degrees of loss. These stories are heartbreaking, but they are also incredibly important. They're not just tales of sadness. They are testaments to the strength of the human spirit. Eva, Kenji, and David endured the unimaginable, yet they found ways to rebuild, to remember, and to teach us. They remind us that behind every statistic and every headline, there are individual lives, hopes, and dreams. Their experiences urge us to cherish peace, to practice empathy, and to never forget the human cost of conflict. By listening to their voices, we honor their legacy and commit ourselves to building a better, more peaceful world. Thank you so much for joining me today to reflect on these powerful stories. If this video moved you, please consider liking it and subscribing to our channel for more content that explores the depths of our shared history. Your support helps us continue to tell these vital stories. Until next time, take care.